Hey, Mortgage Coach community, Dave Savage, and I've got another great Skype interview for you. I am here with Justin Tucker, the CMO of WFG Title. What's up, Justin?
How's it going, Dave? Thanks for having me today.
Good. It's going good. I have to tell you, I love the way you roll on Facebook. I'm always entertained, and you make me think of things in a different way, and of course, you always make me want to go find good pizza places.
Well, I appreciate that. I mean, first and foremost, you got to post every piece of pizza on Facebook. But past that, I mean, what a great tool to actually network and share ideas and challenge the way we think about things. So I always get a lot out of what you post as well.
Yeah, no, I love it. And I love the way you guys approach supporting the real estate mortgage space. So there are a lot of title companies out there. There's not a lot of people that approach it with the heart of a servant, as an educator, as a teacher. And you guys invest a lot of resources in that. So, I mean, I don't think a lot of folks realize just how much training you guys do. So if you could just tell us a little bit about your program of the reps that you have that are going out and teaching realtors how to be more tech savvy and just how to operate better.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm the first one to admit that, title isn't necessarily sexy. And when you talk to people all across the nation about the value proposition of a title company, you a lot of times just hear people talk about service and experience, and those things are critically important, but what do you do above and beyond that to add value to your clients? And we've really approached this from this kind of education mentality, learning together and then sharing what we learn. We have an event strategy called Refresh, where we usually end up with 400 or 500 real estate agents in attendance, and we're talking about business development strategies. We're flying in speakers from all over the nation who are experts in their craft, and we're just sharing that information. We also have a dedicated role. We call it a marketing and technology director, and that person's job is to stay as up to speed as possible on all things real estate tech and marketing, and they're just a resource to be able to sit down with the real estate agents and collaborate and share ideas. And the basic premise is if we can help other people grow, that helps us grow. So fill other people's bucket and you'll fill your own.
So if you are a loan officer and you just heard that, every single thing applies to you. And I know this because I interview the best mortgage professionals in the country, and they are the best teachers, they are the best communicators, and they deliver the most value. So I want to really center this around real estate agents, because I think that's where you just add you've got lenders that you support, but how you support realtors, I think there's a lot of value we can bring to our community. So first of all, how many real estate agents are you guys teaching and educating, just so we can get a sense of, when I ask you what are the top realtors doing, I want them to realize how many folks are you networking with and educating on an annual basis?
Oh, thousands. I mean, between our events, between the evergreen content that we create, on our blogs and websites, between the brainstorming sessions where we attend events like, Inman News and get to sit down with some of the other, best of the best in the industry. I mean, ultimately, we're looking for really, really savvy, smart people who want to share, and we'll share our experience and expertise and to collaborate the other direction. So, I mean, thousands and thousands of real estate agents on a yearly basis, both directly face-to-face and through video and blog content and other ways that we deliver that message.
So you've got a lot of perspective. So what are the strategies that the most successful agents are implementing today around the country?
It's a good question. I mean, you can kind of chop that up into two buckets. I think the first bucket, which would be the majority of real estate agents, is they're very sphere and referral centric. And sometimes because of that, maybe they step back and say, all right, it's just about relationships, and I'm going to continue to kind of conduct my business in a very specific way. And then you have these maybe mega teams that are very lead generation centric. They're doing a ton with various websites like Boomtown and Zillow, and it's just a math problem. If I get this many leads coming in, here's what my conversion is. But the fun part about that is the tools that are available to these real estate agents, they work in either scenario. We're seeing so many agents in both buckets have a tremendous amount of success on social, and even further than that, the way that you actually create paid advertisement on social. It's one of our number one meetings right now, is helping people sit down, craft a unique voice, come up with the right types of ads to run, help them decipher what's the right audience to put that message in front of, having a capture strategy, and then having a conversion strategy. What do you say to people once they engage with you? So we're seeing a lot in that Facebook advertising realm and that retargeting realm right now. And whether you're sphere and referral based or you have a big lead machine, it works for both.
Yeah, no doubt. I've interviewed Chris Smith a few times, and I can't remember if you were the original person that introduced me to him. I think it was Tom Ferry. But part of the conversation you and I had, where was that? It was in New York at the Inman conference, really made me realize this guy's doing it right. And by the way, everyone, I've put links to those interviews down below. I actually interviewed Chris the other day, and we were just talking about how to get families, I didn't say leads, leads, families on the phone and into a quality conversation. So I want to, you mentioned lead just now, by the way. So yep, I do want to, you posted a post on Facebook the other day where you were like, I can't remember, I don't want to paraphrase, but it's like, should we be calling them leads? Should we be calling them families? Should we be calling them borrowers? Should we be calling them prospects? What should we be calling? What are your thoughts on the word lead? Why does it bother you, and what should we do differently?
Old habits die hard. We say that term so much, it almost becomes just super common to recall. But as I kind of step back from it and think about this industry, we are really helping families, and it's a very personal industry, and there is this relationship component to it. And I think about other industries, and you wouldn't hear a mechanic as you walked in say, oh, another lead walked in the door. It completely dehumanizes the experience when it is a very human experience that we're involved with in helping people complete. And so, I guess I don't have the perfect term from it, but I do fully believe in sales and marketing, right? I believe in creating the right message, how you deliver it's very important. I believe in some salesmanship and the ability to overcome objections or help people, through various processes from a sales standpoint. But I do think it's more of maybe a customer acquisition strategy or opportunities. I love the term opportunity because the opportunity is to serve. The opportunity is to help someone else. And when you get that opportunity, if you approach it from the mindset that this is a person, this is a family, and we're helping them realize something that's very important to them, all of a sudden the term leads starts to sound very impersonal.
Yeah, no doubt. I play with it too. When I did that interview with Chris, we said leads, and then, we closed it with, all kinds of stuff. But at the end of the day, it's about serving clients. And even if someone's a prospect, they just haven't committed to you yet. So I love that. Now, go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I think the danger there is because now on social and email and everything, there's so much visibility, is like if we're sitting in our office talking about a lead generation strategy, that to me is fine. It's your business development strategy. But when I start to see that term constantly posted on Facebook, where every buyer and seller and family can see other professionals interacting with it, they're the ones that get to see that we start calling them a lead. And I think that's super impersonal.
I align, and I'm going to do better as a leader in the industry. So I hear you talking about branding a lot, and you're even using words that I don't even understand about branding. Like you were into branding at a nerd level. CMO of a large company who's not only pretty innovative in how you're branding your organization, and the consultants that you've brought in, but you're helping some of the top agents in America with their brand. So
Absolutely.
Speak to us a little bit about that. Why does branding matter, and what should we know from a high level perspective?
I think what happens is people, they talk about like getting in the space, and they start thinking about Facebook and email marketing and content marketing and all these other things. They don't take a step back and realize that the mechanism or the delivery mechanism is the last thing that you should be focused on. The first thing you should be focused on is, what are you saying? What's your message? How do you create that in a way that forms alignment? And I want to give a little shout out to my guys over at 1000 Watt Consulting. They got me hooked on this book called The Hero and the Outlaw, and it's all around this concept of brand archetypes. And that if you start with your archetype, essentially there are 12 archetypes that have always existed. If you start with your archetype, it almost creates a predefined role or communication style with your potential customer. There's archetypes like the hero and the jester and the caregiver. And as soon as you start to talk about your message first, you can create the imagery and the copy that's going to connect with your audience at a much higher level. And that's where you start to form the concept of alignment, where if you're speaking to someone in a way that they digest information, there's a much better chance that they're going to listen. And I often find people do it in reverse. They just, I got to post on Facebook, I got to send out an email, and they spend no time thinking about what they want to say, and they spend a bunch of time just approaching it like it's something to cross off a list. So this whole concept of archetype and message above everything, and creating that brand so that you can really form that alignment with people, I mean, just super interesting stuff.
Yeah, no doubt. And you're seeing a lot of the best teams, the best agents align, invest in doing this. The 1,000-watt guys are awesome. So by the way, check them out on Facebook. Everything they post on their blog is just a cut above everything. It is really thought-provoking, very transparent. I mean, one thing I love about those guys, they just say it how it is. Yeah. Sometimes it's a little edgy, but it is how it is. So,
well, if you ever want to come geek out about branding with us, I mean, we can spend 4 or 5 hours just talking about that in their office. So let me know.
I can imagine. All right, so let's talk about shiny lights and how to avoid them, because we all know that both lenders and loan officers, they're just chasing shiny lights. What are your thoughts on how we can avoid shiny lights?
That's a good question too. I mean, I think that again, people do that backwards. Everyone is product over process. It's something new comes out. You want to run to be the first to do it. And believe me, I understand that there's some first to market value with some of this stuff. But I think the key is to be process over product. And it all kind of even leads back to the archetype. If you're clear with who you are, what your message is, and the types of clients that you're trying to attract, all of a sudden you start to put every new toy that comes out through a process. Does it fit where I'm trying to go? Is it going to help me accomplish my goals? Is it going to be something that helps my audience connect to me on a better level? And right now, I think people forget that process. So we try to be very, very process over product. It changes so rapidly. Everything has a new feature and benefit. And then the other little element that I would give there as a tip is figure out when you want to do a review of your technology, like an audit of it, and introduce potentially new concepts into it. And maybe that's something that you do every quarter. But I find out that sometimes people spend so much time researching and not enough time implementing. And implementing is where you're going to get your ROI. So have a strategy for identifying and implementing the right tech, and then being able to say no to the wrong stuff.
I love that. And that, by the way, loan officers, and take no disrespect for any loan officers on the call, are not always the best at designing their tech stack. And did you notice, hearing from a CMO, you don't just chase shiny lights right and left. You review your tech stack quarterly. Schedule it. And you don't just look at everything all the time. You look at certain things you want to improve. And then as leader of Mortgage Coach, we believe that our total cost analysis is a best of breed touch point between a loan officer and a family to deliver advice. And I see so many loan officers that are on the team. They or the company they work for invest in it. They know it works,
yep,
but they haven't mastered it, but yet they're off chasing another shiny light. Even though this is, they call themselves a trusted advisor, they brand themselves, they believe that they are a teacher and leader, but yet they're not implementing what they have at the highest level consistently. It drives me crazy.
Absolutely. Well, that's part of reviewing it, is to say, what worked, what didn't. We have a strategy for us, which is keep, stop, start, which is what things are we going to keep because they're working, what things are we going to stop doing because they aren't, and what things are we going to start trying because it's something new to introduce to see what type of impact it would make. So it's one of those things where you're looking back to see what worked, and I might put more investment and time behind the things that are working instead of trying to chase something new.
Yeah, absolutely. So what's the future have to hold for the real estate space? What do you see the future of marketing in the real estate space?
I'm a big advocate right now of ABM, of account-based marketing, and that's getting away from these mass communications. I mean, think about it like this. If you're a real estate agent and you just sell someone a home, and you're a Buffini follower, and Buffini's awesome, but just as an example, the next layer of your marketing campaign is to send out, thinking of selling in 2017, give me a call. And you just help that person purchase a home. Account-based marketing really starts to more personalize your approach to all of the individuals that you're connected with. And instead of thinking that I can just have this general mass communication that's going to, fit everything, the consumer is getting savvy. They get marketed to all the time. They're inundated with messages, and finding a way to be more personal and more engaged. And I think that's where we miss out, is we approach marketing like it's a to-do list item. We're like, cool, I got my blast email out to everyone. Whether it works or not is irrelevant, and then I go about my day. And you'd probably be better off putting 5 people on a list, making a personalized phone call, and really, investing in them as a person from a results standpoint. So it's a fun concept. ABM, you can find a ton about it online, but it's a more personalized approach to your marketing efforts as opposed to this generic one-size-fits-all.
Well, you and I go back and forth on that a lot, and we both align big time. One of the best touch points a loan officer can deliver to a family is an annual review, or when it makes sense to review their mortgage. And we power an annual review, and I see so many loan officers send out this generic, everybody does it marketing, but yet they don't do annual reviews. They don't meet with the family who said, hey, my goal is to pay off my MI, build up enough equity so I can move up into a bigger home. What a cool concept to give them a kind of a quarterly review.
Absolutely.
And be part of the advisor that helped them move up faster.
And you would have so much more, you would have such a better return on your investment from that activity than sending out a blast email every week.
Absolutely. So, hey, mortgage coaches, remember, are you doing your annual reviews? And are you delivering that tailored, you told me your goals were this, now I'm doing this because I want to help you achieve this goal that you told me. Marketing should be all about helping families achieve that. So let's close out with just a couple, tools, apps, I don't know, whatever comes to mind, rapid fire, any tools that we should be thinking about.
There's a bunch of random stuff out there. Along with that account-based marketing, it's about scaling personalization. And I love tools that bring opportunity to have a personal outreach. And so there's a lot of great CRMs out there that do stuff like that. I'm fond of one called Contactually. My friends over at BombBomb just released a product called Prompt. And Prompt actually creates evergreen video content, but it brings it to you ahead of time so that if it's someone that you really want a personalized outreach to, you tap a button and you just shoot a personalized one-on-one video to them. So it brings you opportunity to be custom. Some random fun stuff. I love bond.co. It's a robot that will learn your handwriting, and you can type in, thank you cards, and it will write those thank you cards for you and send them off. Paper Karma. Paper Karma is an app where you take pictures of direct mail that you don't want to receive anymore, and it will get you removed from those lists. Just all kinds of random stuff.
I love it. Well, hey, let's not forget our app, MyNest. We want to make sure that if you're a loan officer, if you're a realtor, download MyNest. Use it as your real estate camera. And one thing I want to remind everybody when it comes to video, video is so powerful, and everybody's got a killer app right here. You got your phone. You can record a video. And you know what? You could send that via Facebook Messenger. You could text it to someone. So I love all the tools out there to drive video, but I just want to remind everybody, you've got a lot of tech, and heck, this video we're doing right here, this is a Skype interview. It's free. I bought a $30 recording device. I don't need a marketing team. I'm going to put this up to YouTube, create videos, and get them out to your community. At Mortgage Coach, we give you tools to record those, so get it done. So you're an avid reader. Any books, any blogs, anything that we should be reading?
Well, you got me hooked on Tools for Titan, so I'm working my way through that one. Some of my favorites, I think ideas are the new currency, so I love a book called The Challenger Sale, which is all about informing and inspiring people through ideas. I'm a huge Gladwell fan. David versus Goliath is one of the top reads. For me, I would absolutely, I said it a little bit earlier, but the Hero and the Outlaw, from a brand archetype standpoint, was one of the most life-altering books for me to understand how people want to be communicated with from a messaging standpoint. But I'm always open for suggestions too. I got plenty of flights every year, so plenty of time to read. All
right. Well, make sure you read Extreme Ownership, Jocko Willink, one of my favorite books last year. So everyone, if you liked this interview, you're watching this on YouTube, like it, share it with your mortgage friends, share it with your team. If you have a question for Justin, put it in comments. We're going to have it back in The guy is a branding genius. He's a marketing genius. He is touching thousands of agents in America. And the way that they are building a title company, it's special. It's unique. So check it out. So Justin, if anybody wants to follow you, keep in touch with you, or get value from you, where should they go?
If you want to personally connect, you can find me on all of the social channels. Facebook and Instagram are probably going to be where I'm the most involved there. From a company standpoint, we do have a website called themodernDayAgent.com. It's a product index, so we sort out various products and services for real estate agents into various need categories, and there's reviews and copy and tutorial videos. But it also has a blog component where my corporate team we're testing various things, checking out strategies that we think might make an impact in a real estate agent's business, and then posting the results of what we test out there. So the Modern Day Agent would be a good place to see a lot of that.
I love it. I love it. Well, hey, I know Pat Stone, who's the leader of your organization, has been a mentor and a friend of mine for years. Does he do speaking? Because I recently referred you guys to a large lender. Is that something that you would like to do more of, or that Pat would like to do more of, speaking within the industry?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think both of us are constantly in front of random audiences, and he does a great job of really breaking down not only the industry and the opportunity that's in front of us through not the economy, but also the compliance atmosphere and where that's taking technology. I speak at everything that I can because, again, it goes back to filling other people's buckets. And a lot of times after I get off stage, I'm going to learn as much from the conversations afterwards as I was able to maybe share while I was on stage. So anything that we can do from a speaking standpoint, we're in.
Well, check that out, Mortgage Coach Community. If you guys have an upcoming sales rally, you've got two amazing speakers and leaders. Pat is incredibly special in terms of his ability to, as you said it, architect opportunities. This is what's happening in the world, both compliance and economy, and this is where the puck is going in the mortgage space. No one does it better. All right, my friend, I appreciate this. Thanks for taking time to come give value to the Mortgage Coach community.
Hey, we were going to keep it to 12 or 15, but I think we're at 23, so whenever we get together, man.
I know, it's actually 22 minutes and 19 seconds. We did. I don't think we could do it any faster, but let's do it again.
Awesome. Thank you, Dave. It was a pleasure.